Hyde of Adrian Hyde Photography, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create this frame. As you can see, it is blurred on the outside and on the inside it's nice and sharp, and we have a little frame here to frame it in. I quite like this, and there is a way that we can do it very quickly through Photoshop and through actions. And in this video I'm going to show you how to create the action for this. So let's get to it. Okay, so first of all I am going to close this down, but don't save. Let's open the image back up. File, open, and there it is, it's open. So the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to, is duplicate this layer here, and I'm going to press Command and J. And I'm going to resize it. I'm going to resize it by Shift and down. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to show you how I create a style. So let's just press enter, and that will lock it in. Now down here, if you click on this little bit here, it will bring up a window. So I double click on this bit here, it brings up a window. And it goes bevel and emboss, and if you double click on there, it brings you up another menu here, and basically you just play with it. And as you play with it, you see it do different things around here. So I would suggest you just go through and you just play with it until you get something that you like. I'll do a bit of drop shadow. Can't really see it on it, but here you can see what's actually happening in the preview. So drop shadow, double click on that, and then you get a distance, see how far it goes down by here. Want lots, comes here, don't want so much. Spread, size. You can change the colours on here by pressing up here and just by doing stuff like this. It's dark shadow or another light shadow or something in between. So any one of these here in a shadow, you can just double click on and then you can play with it. This stroke on the outside. If you want to change a different colour of that stroke, you can go up here and then press OK. And then if you want to just merge it a little bit, you can just dial it back. So I would suggest that you just go in here and you create your own style. And when you've finished creating this, contour, let's do a little less contour, let's do more contour, let's do level and emboss, let's take it back a little bit. Something like that. Then you click on here, new style. So press that. And here you then name it. I'm going to name it Super Frame. Super Frame. So I'm going to click both of these here, include layer effects and include layer blending options. Okay. Okay, and that will create it here. So I'm going to get rid of this layer here. I'm going to now duplicate this layer. I'm going to resize it, put it in the middle, and because this is highlighted here, I'm going to press this box here. I'll press enter to lock it in. Now I press this one here, it will repeat that same style all the time that I put it, and then I press that. So that's how we create styles. And this is the first step that we need to take to make things automated. So we can press on this and it will change and make that box and that frame how we want it. Let's carry on. So next thing I want to do is to duplicate this level by pressing Command and J. And this layer here, I'm going to put a filter on it. I'm going to put a filter, a nice blur one. So blur, we all come down here to this blur here, Gaussian blur. And because I don't want to play with it all the time, you'll see why I do this in a minute. I want the blur that I want to sort out to make it look how I want it. Not too much, not too little. And I think that looks nice there. So we're going to OK that. And I'm going to delete it. Okay. So when we start recording our actions, we've now done this to make it automated. We've now set up our filter so it's going to blur the outside of it. Now let's go ahead and record the action itself. So if you don't have this little play button here, you can go in and find it by Windows and Actions, and it will bring this table up. And I would like to start a new group of frames. So I'm going to press on here. I'm going to open up set 1, new set. I'm going to call it frames. Frames. Press OK. And this will be located down here. Now let's get rid of default actions. Now it's all going to be put in here. So here's our frames. Now I'm going to record a new action, which is going to be here. So we're going to press this. Boom. Action 1. I'm going to call this frame 1. Oops. Frame 1. And it's going to be in the set of frames, which is here. This is it. I can put it in any one of these here, but I want to put it in frames. Function key, none. And then this, I'm going to make it red. Record. And from now on, everything we do on the screen will be recorded. So we're now ready to record our action. We press the record button here, and then everything that we do will be repeated through our actions. And at the end of it, we'll then play it through, and we'll bring up some other photos, and then bring these actions into place. Okay, so now we're ready to record our actions. The first thing I'm going to do is duplicate this layer twice. Command, press J once, press J twice. Now the top layer here, we're going to click on and make sure that is active. We're going to resize it first by pressing this one. And we're going to resize it. Pressing shift, keeping all the orientations the same, and we're going to put it in the middle. Okay. That is done, press enter. So now we have our two photos, our photo in a photo. Still with this one pressed here, I'm going to press this stylized. And as we stylize it, we can see it's on here. Okay? But we want the back, this foreground here, on the outside, we want this blurred. So we're going to select this layer here. We're going to go up to Gaussian blur, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And because we already previously decided that this was a nice blur, we're going to OK it. And that is it. You're going to press stop. And that is our frame done. Frame 1 is done. So we'll put it to the test now. We will close this. Photoshop, don't save. Open up Photoshop. File, open. 3, open. And then here we're going to run this action. So we go frame 1, and then we're going to press play. In Photoshop, we'll make it the same every time. Let's try another image. File, open. Let's try this one. Oh, let's not try this one. Let's try this one. This is a portrait one. Go to actions, frame, play. It does the same. Let's try another one. File, open, try this one, open. There is another mode that we can use which is going to be a lot easier for us to find what we want to find. See, all of these here, if we open up these here, it all gets a little bit complicated, as I'll show you. So default actions here, if I open up this, there's a lot here and we can get a little bit complicated by it all. There is something nice, it's called button mode, and it's activated by pressing this button here, Alt, Command and Q. And here we have all the nice little colours, and down here in red we have frame 1. And if I go and press on frame 1, it does it automatically. So that's another way that we can easily find our actions. So what if you want to change something in our frame? So let's go back to Command, Alt and Q. Oh, wrong way. Let's go back. And we want to alter something in our frame. So I'm going to go back here, and just for argument's sake, say you want this to be black and white, this layer here. So we can go down Gaussian blur. You want to be on this layer here, record, and this layer here wants to be active. Make sure it's active. We go here, and then what we're going to do is black and white. Okay, black and white, I quite like that. You can press auto, and that is good. Up here, and we can then stop. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll test this by Alt, Command, back to our button mode. We will close this one, close, don't save. This one, don't save. This one, don't save. Let's open up on number 3. Open. Now we're going to press frame 1, and it should produce all the frame, but the outside now should be blurred in black and white. And it is. Okay, so that was a quick tip on Photoshop and Photoshop actions. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.